Very tasty, easy and simple, from budget products. Soft brushwood on kefir also crunches, imagine. This is an amazing pastry that everyone will like. Inside it is tender, and at the edges, with a crunch, delicious. Try to cook, it turns out the first time. How to make soft brushwood on kefir. Prepare all the ingredients for the dough. Take the flour of the highest grade. Eggs, C1 or CO. If you don't have powdered sugar, you can make it yourself by grinding sugar in a coffee grinder. This is better ready-made, since in addition to sugar there will be no impurities in it, which are usually added to the powder so that it remains crumbly. Sour milk can be used instead of kefir. The oil should be odorless and suitable for heating. Take a deep bowl in which it will be convenient to mix dry and liquid ingredients. Sift half of the flour into it to sift out small debris, and the dough is saturated with oxygen. Kefir must be removed from the refrigerator in 1 to 1.5 hours. In order for the dough to be successful, it must be at room temperature. In a separate container, mix kefir with soda and stir to start the reaction. Eggs should also be at room temperature. Wash them with soap, dry them with a towel or napkin and break them into a bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar, salt, and whisk with a fork or whisk. It is not necessary to beat until the foam appears. Adding salt improves the taste of cookies and simplifies the process of beating eggs. In a bowl with flour, add the mixtures obtained in steps 3 and 4. Add the liquid part to the dry one, and not vice versa, so that the dough turns out to be successful. Since the properties of flour of the same grade, but different manufacturers differ, in order to get the desired consistency, add the remaining flour in small portions. When it becomes difficult to knead with a spoon, start doing it with your hands. Knead the dough thoroughly. The dough should be slightly elastic, but tender and not stick to your hands. Do not make the dough too steep, so as not to get a rubber brushwood instead of a soft one. Roll out the dough on a work surface sprinkled with flour into a layer 0.4 to 0.5 centimeters thick. Cut into strips 3 to 5 centimeters wide and then into diamonds. In the middle of each piece of dough, make an incision and turn one edge through it. You can try to make the same twigs. Personally, I make them different in shape and size. You can show imagination in the process and introduce children to modeling. Sprinkle your hands, knife, and rolling pin with flour so that the dough does not stick. For frying, take either a pot or a frying pan with high sides. Pour enough oil so that the brushwood floats in it. Heat the oil over medium heat, because it is dangerous to work with hot oil and you can get burned. In order for the oil not to splash, you can add a pinch of salt to it. It will absorb moisture, if there is any. Check the required oil temperature by throwing a small piece of dough. It should boil. Gently dip the brushwood into the oil. Fry on both sides until lightly browned. Spread the finished brushwood on paper towels to remove excess oil.